Good evening. It's Dusty Showers with the Second Basement, and I'm here with my fireside or braside chat. And we are here in lovely Mobile, Alabama. We just left from Pensacola this morning. Had a 70-mile bike ride, and then we go another 70 miles into Biloxi tomorrow. So towns are starting to blend in. It is 11:33 right now. We spent a lovely evening out with Margaret, and we she kept us out a little bit later than what I can really handle. So I'm a little exhausted, but I wanted to make sure that I did my fireside chat. Today I announced that we were able to fund the Carrie grant. So my dear friend Carrie Marinakis, we're able to get some tests paid for her. Carrie's been a long-time breast cancer fighter and a dear friend of mine, and she deserves this and so much more. So thank you for everybody that made that happen. The recap today, we started off, Casey, how did it start off? It was hot, wasn't it?
It was beautiful. Nice and like 95.
95,
sunny,
sunny.
humidity.
I don't even remember what the road started off today. I do remember, where did we stay last? Oh, we were at Steve's house last night, and so we left from the IHOP, and so it was very urban, and urban is tough when you're on a bike, especially a high performance bike, because the tires are so thin, and it's a fragile bike. I mean, as tough as they are, it's a fragile bike. And so I'm dealing with a lot of curbs, a lot of glass, a lot of staples. Staples have taken me out twice. Crystal staples. And it's just traffic, so it's very difficult and a lot of stop and go. But that was the other thing. We started off with 2 flat tires. So the back one had a blowout, which I kind of expected because it was growing a bubble last night, and then the front one had a staple in it. But I got those fixed after breakfast, and we hit the road about noon, so we were running really, really, really late. But we're still able to roll in at, I don't know, whatever time, 7 o'clock maybe. But it was a very, very anxiety-ridden ride. Just because of the traffic. Most of the time I only had 18 inches to nothing to ride on. And when I say 18 inches, it's, give or take 18 inches at the most, and then the divots, or what I call road braille. So there's all these little divots, so when you start dozing off and you're driving, it goes dut, except when you're in a bike and you're going 25 miles an hour, it goes and it makes you say bad things, and I don't like to say bad things. So so curses to you, road braille. But in the other sense, that stops me from veering into traffic, that while I might be going 20 miles an hour, they're going 70 miles an hour. But this was my first taste of hills, so I don't know if what it's going to be compared to when I get out west, but they're definitely rolling hills through the area. And I fly going down them, and I think that that's totally awesome, and I'm going to make up for lost time. But then on the way up, I practically stopped, so it's probably 6 one, half dozen of the other. And then we wrapped up with the bridge going across, I don't know if it's the bay or the inlet or whatever it is, into Mobile, but it's like a roller coaster. So I'm at the top of this hill, and I stopped there, and it was real dramatic, and I looked off into the distance and posed. But nobody was there to take a picture, so I really looked dumb. But so then I got on my bike, and there was no traffic around, and I took off down the hill, just flying. And it was wet out, it was raining. We've had rain every day. And then I went to the bridge and kind of puttered out a little bit, but kept going. Saw 2 dead little baby alligators on there, poor guys. And saw an 8 to 10 footer. And it was a long bridge, but it was nothing crazy. The bridges are good. I do great on bridges. It's just that afterwards, where there's traffic and tight areas on roads, and the most welcome sign or welcome thing in my life right now is when I'm driving and riding, and I see the truck with Casey in it. And that is the #1 thing that brightens up my day right now when I'm out riding my bike. So that was the ride. Everything was great. We are in Candlewood Suites, and it's absolute phenomenal setup. So thank you very much to Candlewood Suites. You guys are awesome. We even had a gift bag when we came in. So it was above and beyond. Candlewood Suites, thank you very much for everything. I wanted to touch on this real quick. I know that I've picked up some support along the way. People might not know exactly what I'm doing. This is not for breast cancer awareness. That is a byproduct of it, but I believe that we beat breast cancer awareness into the ground. And what happens is, all of y'all out there with breast cancer, you go out and you got smiles on and you're like, we're powerful and we're strong and, you know, and all this other stuff. And people see that, and I saw that years ago, and my impression was, oh, breast cancer's no big deal. I see the women, they're like, we're survivors, we're tough, we're strong. And I love you guys for that attitude. But what that does, I think, is it gives us dumb boys the impression that breast cancer's not that big a deal. And when it hit my family back in 2003, that's what I thought was it's not that big a deal. So for those of you that are watching this that are not breast cancer fighters or not breast cancer survivors or cancer for that matter, I want to tell you, cancer is bad. And it's not bad like you think it's bad. It's bad like way worse than you think it is in so many different ways. And most of these people won't tell you because they're too proud or they've got their own battle going on. But you know, you see hair loss and occasionally you hear somebody passes away, but you know, it's almost always somebody else, and it's not somebody close to you. But until that happens, then you go, oh wow, I guess cancer is real. But it's hard. It devastates you emotionally, financially, physically. I mean, it bankrupts so many people. People that we deal with, some of them can't pay to get their car fixed. They can't. They have a hard time feeding their children. They can't buy their medication. They can't pay the copay to get their medication. And this stuff adds up. It can be thousands. One shot could be $7,000. And so we want to help fill that gap when people are having these real problems with cancer. That's where the second baseman steps in and says, we're going to help you with these bills. So, you know, cancer is truly a devastating thing, more so than what you ever believe that it is, unless you've been very close to it. So that was just really something that I wanted to share tonight. I thought about that a lot, because when I have so much time on my hands to think about it, I do think about it. And the one thing that keeps me going is my friends that are going through this, and you know, just the stuff that they go through, and the ability that we have as a community to help them out. I know that we can do so much more. But I'm grateful to all of you guys for everything that you've done. I'm just a tiny part of this, and it's grown and it continues to grow. But I need your support, and we need your support. So please help me help my friends. Check out thesecondbaseman.org. We always fight breast cancer in unusual ways. And today that way is riding through the South in a pink bra. And, you know, I'm ready to keep going. And I won't lie to you, it's hard. And I'm struggling, and I'm having some, I mean, it's tough. My legs are good, but it's my neck that's hurting. But it is very, very long ride out there, and I'm just getting started. But I'm nowhere near ending. So check out secondbaseman.org.